jury, I struggled with what names I was going to write for the awards, so you guys were all wonderful.
I have a more general question.
Sure.
What's a good way to format a cross to make sure that your point comes across clearly? That, like, how do you structure questions so that the jury follows and says, oh, that's what they're getting at,
Yeah.
without telling the jury what you're getting at?
I would say exactly the way you did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys on Cross did better than a lot of seasoned attorneys do it. Oh yeah, that was another comment I had. Your directs were great. Direct examination is boring as hell. So were you there? Yes. What happened next? So, on direct, you never know anything. You can't lead the witness and say, oh, did the monkey go crazy? No, you have to say, what happened next? Oh, the monkey went crazy. And what happened after that? And what did you see? And what did you do? Very boring questions. It bores lawyers to be doing that because when they don't get the answer they want, they get anxious. They go like Elias. Direct examination is lawyers' favorite because you're testifying, you're controlling. Isn't it true that, after you reach to the monkey, then that's when he became upset?
It isn't always student lawyers' favorites because you don't want to glare at your partner who you've been practicing with for all these months, and if they don't give you exactly what you practiced, don't give them the death stare, sort of a thing. Don't get mad at your own friends. Because one of the best things that you guys have going for you is you have more than what most people come out of college with. You have 7 friends. That is unbelievable. So you guys need to all keep in touch with each other and be your own best. That's an amazing network that you guys have going forward that a lot of people leave college without having.
One key to your question on cross-examination is when you feel you made your point, leave it alone.
How do you know when you've made your point?
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
Because we tip it off. We give you a little
Yeah.
see what you're doing there sort of thing. So we, and real judges will do it too, not just supportive educator judges. So one of you, when you were talking sign language at one point, I gave you a little okay to show you that I know finger spelling.
Yeah.
We will drop little things to show I like what you're doing there.
And usually you'll only know for certain when you went too far.
Okay.
So when it's too late.
Cool.
But, things like there was something about, the band manager
Oh, hi.
said something, and the point, I guess, with the affidavit is, where in that affidavit did you make that statement? And he was missing. And so, of course, the witness gets to explain, and she gets to say, well, that is not a lie, I just simply didn't write everything that I know about it. But, so the way to do that is, you did give an affidavit, yes, and in that affidavit, you did not tell us X, Y, and Z, isn't that correct? No, I didn't.
That was the one witness who, you caught yourself at one point, you were like, all right, I just said something, I don't know how I'm being received, I'm a band manager, I'm
Yeah.
rough and tumble sort of thing.
I'm
That's
very
smart.
aggressive as a person. I'm so sorry. I would
No,
also like to
no.
apologize to all of
No,
y'all.
you're missing the point, you're missing the point. I'm
Okay.
saying that's.
Complimenting you.
Yeah.
That was good.
No, it's a compliment.
Oh,
It's
wait.
It's a strategy, no, listen.
Sorry.
So, for all the witnesses, if you find that you're playing into your character a little bit too much, and if you don't know if it's being well received, it's always an opportunity to just kind of state out loud for the benefit of the judges, where you're coming from. So if the scientist got a little geeky or wonky and thought that eyes were glazing over there, being like, I'm sorry if I'm getting super technical, I'm a sciencey kind of person, whatever. You just kind of just show self-awareness about yourself as a witness, and that can buy you a point.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Gives you that humanity that gets you some forgiveness for. And with cross-examination, you're never going to get the witness to say, yes, you're right, I meant to lie. So your point is, today you're saying something that you had previously omitted. And so you just say, so even though today you were saying that in your affidavit, you had not made such a statement, the end. Because that's all you got, that's all you can do.
Some of the witnesses might catch people more off guard by, fessing up to a few no's or yeses and giving the short answers as opposed to spinning the webs. So when you're trying to stump the cross-examining attorney, you might be surprised to see how seeding some stuff here and there will startle them. And and they might not be prepared with their next question, so you might want to slip that in.
As I think of things, one quick comment, somebody, or maybe more than one person, used the word liar. And so language always has a degree of meaning to it. And so if I say that somebody's a liar, means that in my opinion, I know that you intentionally lie. However, one of the same person that said, so you were lying, at one point said, oh, but so you weren't telling the truth when you said that. Now, you weren't telling the truth is a little bit softer. I'm not implying that you did it intentionally, just that you didn't for whatever reason.
It's such a difficult concept in the law that we resort to this when we talk about it in fraud, right? Scienter. The whole idea of like lying and knowing that you're lying is like such an important level of that, that it's one of those times that we go for the crutch of another language to explain that that's a concept.
Yeah. So in and when you call somebody a liar, you're the bad guy, because you're calling someone something bad. So the softer way is to say, so it wasn't correct when earlier you said such and such. Okay. And the jury will know if somebody's lying anyway.
And let them say it first, then let them go back and deliberate and be like, man, they were subtle about it, but it was lying.
So in closing, would you not call attention to that then?
I would by saying, so it was incorrect when earlier you said such and such. The correct answer is X, Y, and Z. And then the witness can acknowledge. Even when the witness doesn't acknowledge, if you're on cross, you already said it. And the jury knows it. It's almost better when the witness doesn't agree with you, because then your point is even more glaring. The witness is underlying the point. They say, so a minute ago you said yes, but that was incorrect. The correct answer is no, isn't that correct? Well, you hope for that.
Yeah, winning the argument isn't smarter and louder.
Yeah.
So you, for example, on cross, you stayed really cool during a cross.
Olivia?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did a good job of staying cool on cross. You didn't dial it up to the level of the person you were crossing. So you don't always, have to win the argument by out zinging them or whatever. So you painted a contrast.
Yeah, you did it around. And one thing everybody did great was, at one point or another, you lose your point where you were going, or in the course of objection and the back and forth, you even forget what you were asking. Everybody was very cool about just getting back on track, and like you did a great job with that. I was sort of a little bit unfair, and I said, so how does 608B apply to this? Because I actually kind of knew that what you were introducing, that 608B did not allow. So you said, may I confer with counsel? Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can ask for a second. And so that was pretty cool. You talked, you gave your argument, and on you go. And it's great that none of those things allowed you to kind of completely lose it, and then the whole thing unraveled. So yeah, very, very well done.
Yeah, nobody expects you to remember what's on what portion of what page. So even when you go through stuff and you say do when you're going through things, I wrote that down as a good thing that you did. Do. It's friendly, you're down to earth. None of us know. It would be weird if we had a weird photographic memory for every aspect of the case. Presumably you're successful enough defense attorneys. This is one of several cases, several matters that you're handling at any one moment. When I was a defense attorney, I would have 50 open cases at any given time. So I'm not supposed to know everything inside now.
I have a question, how do you feel about, the openings, like the length of the opening? If it's too short?
Don't worry about the length, worry about the style. So like your style is kind of like what the jurors sign up for. Do you know the meme on the internet where it's like Michael Jackson going, eating the popcorn?
Yeah.
That's what the jurors would do during your open. It's kind of like, this is like what an attorney does. All right, I'm on jury duty, this is entertaining, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
So worry more about the style. That's my opinion.
Yeah, my general practice on cases that I try, and I've had cases that my longest trial was 3 weeks. Every day you wake up and you go straight to court that day. So it's pretty voluminous. We had like almost 200 exhibits, 36 witnesses, and yeah, it was. So when that happens, you know, how long is the opening argument? 2 hours? But it doesn't have to be proportional. Sometimes I'm a big advocate of less is more. And so whatever long it takes you to say what the case is about is great. And incidentally, both of you did a great job in the opening statement, at it being an opening statement, not an opening argument. Lawyers, licensed to practice law, most of them don't get that. They get up and they just want to argue. It's stylistic, well, it's legally incorrect, and stylistically it doesn't help them, because if you get married to an argument early on and later the facts don't really support it, kind of leaves it feeling pretty weak. So yeah, you did better than most lawyers doing that. So.
Did you still come across, because that was my last issue of like, if the, okay, cool.
Can I, oh, sorry, can I ask one quick question, Mrs. Bowman? Who would be on the comedy group?
Yeah,
Who would be on the comedy group?
Yeah.
I assume
Oh,
that
I
one
mean,
there.
1 and 2, because my first thought was like, let's get people from opposing teams together. And then there's like a whole like,
Yeah.
very comedic vibe with the 3 of y'all. But like, I actually just in the spirit of getting teams together, I want to see, you guys should get coffee.
And what's so funny is, I know someone that looks a lot like you,
Oh, thanks.
and who normally talks like that.
Hey,
So,
sister.
How's she doing in life? Is she selling fragrances at a mall, or what's she doing?
No, she's a young woman like you, like, she's one of my friend's daughters. So she's a little flighty too, so.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Thanks, guys.
So when's the next one? When's the
Wellesley College, or we're gonna? No, thank you guys very much. Yeah, no, I hope Wellesley stays because my wife. So I appreciate the screen.
Next year, we expect all these days. Yeah, we found out long before we normally do.
Yeah, round is over. You're right. Thank you very much. Keep in touch. Good handshake.
Well,
Nice job. Keep in touch.
Okay, that's right, okay,
Keep in
good.
touch. We did one of the best jobs of actually looking really hard how we were receiving things along the way and using that to gauge how you proceeded. Usually it's hard to do that. Usually we can walk in our contact on ourselves on the back for doing that. You were virtuoso. Yeah, great job. What kind of law do you want to go?
What did you think of my coach out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I fought on the right points, but I didn't fight too aggressively. That's what I thought. I was like, there were some big points that they were making. I was like, if I don't respond to them very enthusiastic, or I didn't respond to them very enthusiastic and happy, it kind of makes it seem like, oh, it's not as big a deal if he's not fighting on us.
What's your name?
Nate.
Nate, tell
Nice to
me.
meet you.
Can I give you my email? That way you can
Yes.
send us the recording.
Yes. Let me get my phone real quick. I don't know where it is.
It's in the
Coach, where y'all from?
We're Wellesley.
Wellesley, we all did a great job.
You guys did too. Do you guys have fun?
Oh, yeah.
Don't work out.
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah. This is our second year up here, so.
Oh, yeah. I remember you guys from UNH last year. Or Coach Brian Olson, so we come year after year. Because you guys have.
Does anyone know how to pause this or stop it?
So, yeah.
This is not my forte.
What are you trying to say?
Stop it.
You didn't stop it?
I don't know how to stop it.